For the Colts, though, whoever's at quarterback, they have a
Right.
different vibe than they've had in recent years. They've gone from a team that's a consistent contender to a team that you just don't know what they're going to do. DeForest Buckner addressed that earlier this week. The question of where the Colts are.
Yeah.
Here's the question. Here's the answer from the veteran defensive lineman.
This is what, your 8th year?
Yeah.
If you hear the word rebuild, and boy, in a couple of years, you don't want to hear that, do you? I mean,
No, definitely not. I hate that word. I mean, I've been through a rebuild. You know what I mean? And it's a process. You know what I mean? Rebuilds are definitely a process. I mean, my first year, obviously, my rookie year in San Francisco, we went 2-14, and then coach got fired, brought in Kyle, and then majority of the roster was gone. Brought in new guys, and took a couple years. I mean, didn't take till my 4th year in the league when we went to the Super Bowl. I mean, we were building the team, the culture, and all that up to that point. But I was a young player, so I was able to kind of grind through those tough years and stuff like that. But as you get older, rebuild is definitely not a word you want to hear.
Well, but it's part of the reality. And you get traded to a team, or you stay with the team that drafted you. The circumstances can change quickly at any given time.
Definitely.
And it all goes back to the Andrew Luck retirement. They would still be right in the thick of things in the AFC if Andrew Luck hadn't chosen to retire. And I don't fault him for doing it, but the reality is that was the moment that the Colts got thrown into a tailspin from which they've yet recovered. Yeah. And I think that organizationally what they would like to do once and for all is solve this quarterback problem for the long haul, not for 1 year at a time, 1 year at a time, 1 year at a time, swing and miss, swing and miss, swing and miss on veteran. They want someone that they can plug in sooner than later and get it done. And it may take a year.
Right.
This may be a rebuilding year for the Colts, but look at what happened after 1998 when they were 3-13 with Peyton Manning. What happened? From 1999 through 2010, they were relevant every single season. They were great every single season. And we talk about teams that we're disappointed they only ever won one championship, like the 85 Bears. When you look at how great in the regular season those Colts teams were,
exactly,
from 99 through 2010,
it's
a disappointment that they only won one Super Bowl.
Right. Well, yeah, hey, you're right about that. There's a few things I'll say about that. Yes, you're right. Hey, they were going against one of the greatest dynasties we've ever seen, so that's tough, right? They lost another one that was a heartbreaker. And I'll say this too. And the greatness of Peyton Manning, I do think made those teams look a little better than they really were, right? That's one thing I would always say. Like we ended the year and we went, they were 12-4, 13-3, and I wanted to go, because I was playing during those years, I had to go, yeah, they're like an 11-5 or 10-16. But they had Peyton Manning, and he pulled out like 3 rabbits out of his ass during the year in the fourth quarter, like he always did, because he was Peyton freaking Manning. And all of a sudden we'd go, they're 14-2, they're 13-3, they're the best team in football. So that's sometimes what a great quarterback can do. But your point's real. I didn't mean to go down that tangent. I just kind of popped in my head there. But you're right about the Colts.
But hang on.
Yeah,
hang
go
on.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
good.
Give me a timeout here.
Cool. I like
Because I don't necessarily agree with you.
Okay.
I don't necessarily agree with you.
Right.
They had great players around Peyton Manning. They had Marvin Harrison. They had Reggie Wayne. They had Edgerrin James.
Sure.
And when he left, they drafted Dominic Rhodes. And they had a great tight end in Dallas Clark. And they had defensive players like Dwight Freeney and Bob Sanders. I mean, it was when Bob Sanders finally got healthy in 2006 for the playoff run that everything changed.
I know, but I'm saying, like, yes, there was good players. I get that. All the top teams have good players. I'm not trying to. I understand that. I'm just saying I think we viewed them a little like that year they won the Super Bowl. Teams were running for 200 yards a game on them. We were going, oh my gosh, a team ran for 300 yards on them. And why did they still go, with a great record? Why was that? It wasn't because of the great defense. It was because of the magic man, a quarterback who was going, check, Apple, Omaha, said Hut. And then he made it all work. So that's where you're right. And that's where these conversations are dicey. There's a lot of really good football players on the team. They won a Super Bowl, and they were in the convo every year. I'm just saying, in my opinion, all right, and I'm not saying I'm right, I think they were viewed at a little bit better than they actually were because of the sheriff at quarterback. That's all I was trying to say.
All right, sorry. So to the point of rebuilding now where the Colts are post Andrew Luck, 4 years after he surprised everyone and walked away.
Yeah.
I mean, I know DeForest Buckner doesn't like it, but what can you do?
Right.
It's a reality.
Yeah, you said it right. It was a tough situation, and they were a team, and Ballard had built, and Frank Reich early on there where, I mean, we looked at them and we go, they're in the Super Bowl window. So it was ruined because of that. And I don't think we can lose sight of that. And hopefully that's why Jim Irsay likes Chris Ballard so much. He realizes that too. But it's a weird situation with them, right? First off, we know we've seen teams with young quarterbacks go to the Super Bowl all the time now. Second, third-year quarterbacks all the time. So that's a possibility in this. And they get an Anthony Richardson and he becomes everything they want him to be. Wow. Also, what they're different, Mike, too, is like, it is weird from the normal number 4 pick. Like you look at Houston at 2 and go, damn, they got issues everywhere. Or Arizona, you go, oh, they got issues everywhere. The Colts don't necessarily have that. Their defense, it's still damn good. It is. I mean, if they had any offense last year, it was better than the 15th ranked defense in football. For most of the year, they were in the top 7 or 8 until the end of the season where things kind of fell apart in the Jeff Saturday experiment. The O-line, it's still got some pieces there. Jonathan Taylor healthy, right? So, it's a rebuild, but not the rebuild we're talking about. It's like a refurbish and let's see if we can kind of keep it going from there, because I do think their defense is still going to be a pain in the butt, and their running game has a chance to be damn good still too. And Shane Steichen's good to where I wouldn't be shocked if they were back in the picture 2 or 3 years from now, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But again, quarterback is the key.
That's the key.
We've seen great Colts teams in recent years when they've had great quarterbacks who were healthy enough to play, like Peyton Manning, who eventually became not healthy enough to play, and they moved on to Andrew Luck, and then Andrew Luck decided to no longer play, in large part because he was having issues staying healthy, and it is a grueling process with the pain, the unavailability, the uncertainty, the issues to get yourself back to full health. He was getting banged around too much. They finally got that offensive line fixed a little bit too late, but the quarterback position is what they need to fix now, and maybe DeForest Buckner will be happy. They'll get a guy who can come in right away and make a difference in Indy. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.